what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talk.
What was your favorite moments in WWE with Vince McMahon?
I always had a lot of fun in the ring with Vince McMahon. I think my favorite moment was when we teamed up to defeat The Undertaker and Kane in a tag team match. It was a great way to show that even when we had our differences, we could still come together to achieve a common goal.
Would you like to talk to Vince McMahon again?
I would love to. I have a lot of respect for Vince McMahon and his legacy. He is one of the most successful business leaders in the world of wrestling, and I am honored to have worked with him. I'm sure we could have some interesting conversations.
Was that moment when you shave Vince McMahon's, was that storyline about it?
Sure, it was part of a storyline in which I had to face Vince McMahon in a hair versus hair match. I ended up winning the match and shaving Vince's head bald. It was all just part of the storyline, but it was definitely one of the most entertaining moments in my wrestling career.
You was the first president into WrestleMania. How did that feel for you?
It was a huge honor to be the first president to participate in WrestleMania. I was humbled by the opportunity to represent my country on such a global stage. It was an unforgettable experience and one that I will always cherish.
I remember you did a promo investment when you was in your office, or that about?
Yes, I did. It was part of a promotional event for my business, and I decided to do a live broadcast from my office. It was a great way to reach out to people and connect with them on a more personal level.
Do you have any moments for you that you love to show?
I have so many great moments from my time in the wrestling world. From the time I won the title, to the times I fought against my opponents, to the times I was able to work with some of the biggest names in the industry. It's hard to choose just one.
You remember what was that storyline you got Stone Cold stunned by Stone Cold?
Yes, I remember that. It was a storyline in which I was supposed to face Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. However, he ended up attacking me before the match and giving me a Stone Cold Stunner. It was a surprise move that took me by surprise, but I was able to recover and win the match.
Who else did you face in your WWE chair?
I faced many opponents during my time in the WWE. Some of the most notable ones include The Rock, Kurt Angle, Triple H, and John Cena.
Did you promo interview with Stone Cold?
Yes, I did. I had the opportunity to sit down with Stone Cold and talk about our feud. It was an interesting conversation as we both had very different perspectives on the situation.
Who was the one that made you quit?
I never quit. I was always committed to the WWE and to giving the fans the best experience possible.
You was the first president into WWE Hall of Fame, right?
That's right. I was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2021. It was a great honor, and I'm thankful to the WWE for recognizing my contributions to the industry.
If you did come back to WWE, who do you want to face?
If I were to return to the WWE, I would love to face off against The Rock. He's a legend in the industry, and it would be a great opportunity to show him what I've got.
Do you have any dream match you want to fight in that you didn't get the chance to do it?
Yes, there are a few. I would love to face off against The Undertaker or maybe Brock Lesnar. Those would be two great matches that I think would be very exciting for the fans.
If you have a match with Brock Lesnar, what match do you want him in for your dream match?
I think a WWE title match would be the perfect opportunity to face Brock Lesnar. It would be a great way to show my strength and skill, and I would love to prove that I can beat the best.
How about if you face him in a Royal Rumble?
That would be a great idea, too. The Royal Rumble is one of the biggest events in the WWE, and it would be an amazing opportunity to show that I can compete with the best of the best.
If you have a match with The Undertaker, what match do you want him in for your dream match?
I think I would want to face The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. It would be a great way to show that I'm not afraid of anything and that I can take on the toughest opponents.
If you could time travel back, date go.
If I could time travel back, I would like to go back to my childhood and relive some of those moments. I would like to be able to see my parents again and to experience those times when I was a kid.
If you could meet your childhood self, what do you want to say to him?
I would tell my childhood self to not be afraid to take risks and to go after what I want. I would also tell him to never give up and to always believe in himself.
When you was a kid, what was your favorite TV show to watch?
I had a lot of favorite TV shows when I was a kid. Some of them were The Flintstones, The Jetsons, and The Three Stooges. I loved the humor and the characters, and I would always look forward to watching them.
Do you remember when the episode on South Park when Mr. Garrison dressed up as you?
Yes, I do. That was a very memorable episode. It was very satirical, but I thought it was pretty funny.
What do you think of the character in the episode about you?
I thought the character was a bit exaggerated, but I could see where the writers were coming from. They were trying to make a point about my personality and my style of leadership.
Your reaction, got fired by Vince McMahon. Did you feel sad?
Yes, I was definitely sad when I was fired by Vince McMahon. It was a tough time for me, and it was hard to accept that I wouldn't be able to wrestle anymore. But I tried to stay positive and focus on other things in my life.
Mr. McMahon and Donald Trump announced the Battle of the Billionaires. What this storyline?
The Battle of the Billionaires was a storyline that involved Vince McMahon and myself. It was a battle between the two of us to see who would be the most powerful billionaire. We each had our own team of wrestlers, and we would go head-to-head in various matches. It was a very intense and exciting storyline.
What if you was an interviewer for AEW show? Who will you get to the ring for you?
If I was a interviewer for AEW, I would want to get someone like Kenny Omega or John Moxley to come to the ring. I think they're both great wrestlers, and they would make for a very interesting interview.
What if you was a Raw GM? What do you do?
If I was the Raw GM, I would want to make sure that the show was entertaining and engaging. I would want to create storylines that were interesting and that kept the fans on the edge of their seats. I would also want to make sure that the wrestlers were getting the proper treatment and that their health was being taken care of.
What do you think of the ruthless aggression era?
I think the ruthless aggression era was a great time for the WWE. It was a time of intensity and passion, and it was a lot of fun to watch. I think it was a great era for the fans, and I'm glad that it brought a lot of attention to the company.
If you still work with the WWE, what's your big plans?
Still working with the WWE, I would want to focus on creating some new and exciting storylines. I would also want to make sure that the wrestlers were getting the proper treatment and that they were being taken care of. I would also want to continue to work on making the WWE a global brand and to expand its reach.
Do you remember you meet Andre the Giant?
Yes, I do. Andre the Giant was a very impressive and intimidating figure. He was a legend in the industry, and it was a great honor to meet him.
Do you remember what he told you?
He told me that he thought I was a very strong and powerful wrestler and that he was impressed by my skills. He said that he thought I had a lot of potential and that he believed I would go far in the industry.
Do you remember this? Why America is an oligarchy, WWW.
It was a very controversial promo, and it caused a lot of discussion in the wrestling community. I think it's important to have these types of conversations, and I'm glad that the WWE was willing to address the issue.
Do you remember Barack Obama showed up in the WWE before?
Yes, I do. Barack Obama came to the WWE to promote his book and to speak about his views on the industry. It was a very interesting appearance, and it was a great opportunity to discuss the issues facing the wrestling world.
Did it feel like when Bobby Lashley helped you and the other people to pin Vince McMahon down, to shave his hair completely bald?
It was a very intense moment, and I was glad to have Bobby Lashley's help. It was a very satisfying feeling to finally get revenge on Vince McMahon and to make him pay for what he had done.
Do you remember when Stephanie McMahon did something funny to you?
Yes, I do. Stephanie McMahon was always a bit mischievous, and she would often try to pull pranks on me. I remember one time when she put a fake spider on my chair, and I almost had a heart attack when I sat down.
How did you feel when you met Trish Stratus?
I was a bit nervous when I met Trish Stratus, but she was very friendly and welcoming. She was a very talented wrestler, and I was impressed by her skills.
Do you remember you walk in the rain? All this lady was walking with you to the ring. How did you feel you have butterflies in your stomach? Girls was walking with you.
Memorable moment for me. I remember feeling very nervous and excited at the same time. It was a new experience for me, and I was glad to have those ladies by my side.
What favorite video game on your computer?
My favorite video game on my computer is probably World of Warcraft. I love the fantasy world and the adventure that it provides.
Remember you met Dudley Boys, and what did they do to you?
Yes, I do. The Dudley Boys were a very tough team, and they always had a lot of energy. They were always trying to pull pranks on me and to make me angry, but I always tried to stay calm and to not let them get the best of me.
You have a match with Vince McMahon, and what was the name of your podcast?
Yes, I remember that match with Vince McMahon. It was a very intense and physical match, and I'm glad that I was able to come out on top. My podcast was called The Donald Show.
If you guys have one more match in 2025, would you guys do it for one more run?
If Vince McMahon and I were to have another match in 2025, I would be up for the challenge. I think it would be a great way to revisit our rivalry and to show the fans that we still have some unfinished business. We could do a Hell in a Cell match or a steel cage match, something that would really test our skills and endurance.
What if you were SmackDown GM? What's your big plans with the superstars or divas?
If I was the SmackDown GM, I would focus on creating storylines that are interesting and engaging. I would want to make sure that the superstars and divas are getting the proper treatment and that their health is being taken care of. I would also want to work on expanding the brand and making SmackDown a global success.
What's your favorite episode of South Park?
My favorite episode of South Park is probably Go Fund Yourself. It's a very funny and clever episode that satirizes the idea of crowdfunding and the way people use it to get money for their own personal projects. I also think it's a great way to showcase the creativity of the show's writers.
What do you think about your name? Donald Trump got famous like a superstar.
I think it's a great honor to have my name associated with the WWE. I've always been a big fan of the sport, and I'm proud to be a part of its history. I think my name has become synonymous with the WWE, and it's a reminder of my contributions to the industry.
What if you was a manager? What matches or superstars that you want to be manager for?
If I was a manager, I would want to work with some of the top superstars in the industry. I think I would be a great fit for someone like The Rock or John Cena. I would also want to work with some of the newer talent and help them develop their skills and become successful. I would also want to be involved in the creative process and help to create storylines that would be exciting for the fans.
If Triple H called you right now to go to episode on Raw on Netflix, will do.
If Triple H called me right now to go on an episode of Raw on Netflix, I would definitely say yes. I think it would be a great opportunity to connect with the fans and to talk about my time in the WWE. I would also be interested in hearing what Triple H has to say about his career and his thoughts on the current state of the WWE.
What is your favorite candy to eat that you love to eat every day? And your favorite drink?
My favorite candy to eat is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I love the combination of chocolate and peanut butter, and I can't get enough of them. My favorite drink is Coca-Cola. I love the refreshing taste and the way it goes down so smoothly.
Have a wrestler to be your apprentice in the WWE. Will you take the opportunity?
Yes, I would definitely take the opportunity to have a wrestler as my apprentice. It would be a great way to pass on my knowledge and experience to someone who is eager to learn. I would also be able to help them develop their own skills and style, and it would be a very rewarding experience for both of us.
Coolest person in the WWE today that you want to meet one?
Many cool people in the WWE today, but I think one person who I would love to meet is Tyson Kidd. He's a very talented and charismatic wrestler, and I think he has a lot of potential to be one of the top superstars in the industry. I would love to have a chance to talk to him and to learn more about him and his journey in the WWE.
Donald Trump meets the Boogeyman, WrestleMania 23.
Match with the Boogeyman at WrestleMania 23 was a very strange and unexpected one. The Boogeyman was a very unique and unusual character, and it was a very surreal experience to face him in the ring. I remember feeling very confused and a bit scared, but I was also intrigued by the character and his style. I think the match was a lot of fun, and it was a great way to end the show.
Donald Trump buys Monday Night Raw, June 15th, 2009.
Purchase of Raw by Donald Trump was a major moment in the history of the WWE. It was a very bold move, and it showed that Trump was serious about making his mark in the wrestling world. He had a lot of ideas for how to improve the show, and he was very passionate about making it a success. The purchase of Raw was a big step forward for the WWE, and it was a turning point in the company's history.